Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Another beautiful day here in the state of Kansas. So the other day I made a video and I was talking about how my personal Facebook account had been deleted. An account that I've had since 2007 was deleted from Facebook for really unknown reasons now, but at the time I was of the thought and belief that maybe I had reported way too many people's hateful comments. Comments like, I hope Trump has COVID, I hope Trump has the worst case of COVID and medicine doesn't fix it, and then I hope conservatives die, and I hope Trump's followers die. I was very taken back by these comments. Only because I have been reported on Facebook twice and had 2 strikes on my account. And I've had 3 posts removed by Facebook. Not one of those posts was hateful. I don't know if it's just the computer algorithm that caught it or actual human interaction. But my posts have been reported, and I had 2 strikes on my account. I had one last year, May of last year, and then one this year in April. And the one in April this year threw me for a huge loop as to why I would get a strike for saying, why does my political opinion matter? I might have said, why the F does my political opinion, or my political party's opinion matter? But it wasn't something that wasn't even political. It was in response to somebody making it a political thing. I got a strike, and then I was told at the time that I was on basically a thin line of having my account disabled, and I may or may not be alerted that my account was going to be disabled. So, anyways, I created a new Facebook, and by the way, my old Mid-America Prep Facebook page was titled my old personal page, and it is gone. So that kind of sucks. I reached 3,000 people on that page, and there's 3,000 people that had no idea about it. Anyways, I made a new Facebook Facebook account, and a new page, only because there are some close friends and family that I want to follow and be, kept up with. I have a very small circle of friends and family that I am close to, and so keeping up with them is kind of important because I don't text every single day, I don't call every single day, yet Facebook is the easiest way to communicate really in modern times. So I got that, and one of my friends that I been friends with for a long time posted on, I think it was Chris Peranto's page, and he said, did you realize that John Teagan's page had been removed on Facebook? Now, if you don't know who John Teagan is, he's an American badass. He's a really cool guy, and look him up. And I'm like, wait, I was removed, and I thought it was, because of something that I had reported. But if John Teagan's being removed, that's really weird. Well, then I got to looking around and reading some more comments and stuff, and I saw something from, I don't know, it was some headline or something that said, Emery King, comedian with 2.2 million subscribers or followers, removed by Facebook. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? So not only have I been removed, John Teagan, Emery King, who else has been removed? And why? And I'm like, what does this all add up to? And so I kept on doing some more research and looking and reading in posts and stuff, and somebody says, stop and look at the big picture here. People who are conservative, people who are pro-America, pro-Trump, pro-Second Amendment, and up in modern times, there's people out there who are pro-QAnon. Now, if you don't know who QAnon is, that was a big thing with Facebook not too long ago. People who supported these things are gone. Their pages have been disabled and gone, deleted. I'm like, that makes so much sense. So are we picking and choosing as to who stays and who goes? Facebook? It's interesting. And then something else I've really started to notice, which actually it's been much more than that, but why is social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, why are they pushing for people to vote this year so much? Why is voting so much more important this year than ever before? Why is social media platforms pushing for it? But then not only that, but they're like, everything you if you were to say, hey, in 1969 a local place voted for this, it pops up with a little thing that says learn more information about voting. And why is Facebook and Instagram telling me that mail-in voting is just as safe and just as trustworthy as personal voting? Now, here's the big thing. My vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whoever I vote for really ultimately does not matter. It's the Electoral College. That's why we have it. But me going to the polls to vote in a general election or a primary, whatever it be, is very important at a state and local level. That's where your vote really, really matters. So not voting is idiotic. Voting by mail is twice as idiotic. And then doing the other things that people are doing prior to voting is just as dumb. So I listened to Tim Pool. Now, Tim Pool, he makes a lot of good comments on his podcast. And one of the things he was talking about the other day was people who are for or people who are against mail-in voting versus voting in person to modern times. And then he was relating it to COVID. I think he said, in the aspect of Democrats, only 3% of Democrat men are ready to go back to normal. And then 2% of Democrat women are ready to go back to normal. Which means there's a large portion of people who vote for Democrats who aren't ready to go back to normal because they're scared of COVID. While, this is a Gallup poll, while on the other side, conservative individuals, those who vote with the Republican Party, are like 60 to 65% more ready to go back to normal and are more than happy to vote in person. And so that kind of falls in line with the voting in person versus voting by mail. And it falls also that apparently people in California have been so scared of COVID-19 that they have literally received their ballots in the mail, their mail-in ballot, removed them from the envelope, and sanitized them. Meaning taking an alcohol wipe or hand sanitizer or whatever it is, clean that ballot, made their check mark, and then returned it. Ultimately, voiding that ballot because they've wiped the stuff, off the ballot, and so you can't read it. Very cool podcast. I think it was 2 days ago. Today's Tuesday, so it was maybe Friday's podcast, October 2019. That would have been the 13th, 10th, maybe the 10th of last week, maybe the 9th when that podcast came out. So it's very interesting how all of this is working out. People who are pro-Trump, pro-America, pro-Second Amendment, pro-voting in the polls, anti-pedophilia and that kind of stuff, being deleted off Facebook, and their opinions being null and void and poof, gone, versus those who are being very hateful towards the right and the like. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist necessarily. I do like to listen to them. I know I'm not one. I don't like to create them. But it's very interesting to think and see how many people on the right are being disabled from Facebook, deleted and gone with, versus the left. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the new terms of service that we had to sign in October or the beginning of the month or whatever it was. Interesting. That page is very long, so... Anyways, keep calm and carry on. Stay safe. See you later on the flip side.